And she, I guess, like got into a blowout fight with Gabe about it before the show.
Yeah, and we're just about to go live here, just so you know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Nope, that's fine.
But yeah.
But no, you're 100% right. And when that was sent to me, I'm sitting there looking at it like genuinely just like, what are you seeing that's offensive here? What's the thing that is a problem? Because I'm really confused. We had a huge thing about it. Yeah. And it continues in a sense, but not. It's good.
Yeah. But the funny part about it is that the story that she told me is totally why she is what she is.
Of course. Of course. That's why.
It was like abandoned by my parents. Dad's an addict.
Yeah.
Like all the shit.
Anyone would do that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's nothing to even be ashamed of. That's the shitty part or the dumb part. But anyway, okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm muting myself.
Okay.
'Cause you're all that I crave, so I wonder, where are you? Don't hide away from me when I need you most. We got love guaranteed, and
Hello. Welcome to Therapy Rebranded, where we're consistently inconsistent. I'm by myself, so ding ding. If you came here just for Rachel, log off. The bad bitch is busy. She's in Italy. So I have my friend here, Joe. We've been friends for over 10 years at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, we're family.
Absolutely.
We're family.
Yeah.
He's a police officer. He's a small business owner. We met working in hospital work. So you've been in the trenches forever in terms of
Don't
working.
hating on me on this police officer thing now.
We'll get into it.
Don't you hating on me now.
I had to hate on it myself for a bit. So, because of his wonderful skills, he now opened a security business. Tell him about it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I run a security company. We boast, training everybody up on, just different specialties. We have level 1 training, level 2, level 3. And just to elaborate on one of those things are, level 1 is more of your concierge position. Level 2 is more of your patrol division. And level 3 is more of your, firearms. You have bodyguards in that level. And we're certified through the BCA. So we're operating in different situations like mosques, churches. We do events. So, yeah, plug there.
So people can hire you, and if they're looking for a job, they can come find you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then you do something else, which is?
Yeah, conceal and carry. If you need to brush up on your firearms training skills, I'm a certified instructor, and I help you get your CCW, which is your, permit to carry and your permit to purchase, stuff like that. So if you guys, are serious about protecting yourself, that's what I focus on. It's a last resort type of situation, but I will teach you all that, and we will go over it in the course. And yeah.
Will you go over with people like when are you legally liable when you use your gun? Because I think sometimes people don't know those things.
Yes.
I got a couple dumb questions too at the end because I'm like interested in this. So yeah.
And the conceal and carry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I go over everything. Like there's not a dumb question. I know some people like to believe that you're not going to get your questions answered if you don't ask them. So ask any questions in a class, hit me up. Even for free. We don't even have to do the class. Just email me. I'll answer any question that you have. So, yeah.
Gabe, what are your questions?
So, do you buy your gun before the class? Or do you come and like practice, to get your certificate to do it? And then
yes, so to actually be able to buy a gun, you need a permit to purchase. A lot of people don't know that. So I would recommend not. If you don't have a permit to purchase, don't go buy your gun. You can't even, unless you're in some type of different state and some type of different environment, but the laws don't permit it here.
In Minnesota.
How do you get that?
So your permit to purchase, you go to obviously a sheriff's office or your local PD. They're going to provide you your permit to purchase after you pass your background check. But what I do is I give you your CCW, which is your actual legal stands for concealing your weapon and carrying it in public. Minnesota, you can openly carry your weapon, but I advise against it. But yeah, so after you go through the course, you get your certificate. You take that certificate over to the county of your choosing, the county that you reside on, and then you fill out the paperwork, and then they do a background check, and then they send you your CCW in the mail. So that gives you the opportunity to use that card to buy any type of firearm that you want, and that's your legal standing for carrying your weapon anywhere you want to carry it.
So if you come to this class and then so basically what you're suggesting, the order is come to this class, learn the information, get the conceal and carry,
Exactly.
go to your local sheriff department, file the paperwork, and then buy a gun completely legally.
Yeah, exactly. So I do not recommend not having the knowledge prior to purchasing a firearm, because a lot of people believe that, okay, I have my permit to purchase, I'm good. No, you need to know a lot more about, what you're getting into. There's a lot of responsibilities that are attached to owning a firearm. Even me, I have a couple guns myself. I'm not just out there arguing with anybody.
Yeah.
I avoid any type of situation. Like I like to say that, you think I'm a bitch? I'm a bitch. I'm not gonna go into it with you and say, oh man, I'm this macho guy because I have a gun on me. No, you win. You win the argument. I'm walking away. So
Is that why you conceal? Because you don't want people to try you?
Exactly. You conceal because you don't want to give up your element of surprise. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, they want to boast. I feel like we as Americans, we like to brag a lot about what we have. But at the end of the day, why would you want to give up your element of surprise? It's like showing people what you have. Like imagine some store getting robbed and they already see that you have a gun. Who are they going to take out? Exactly. So
There was a dude in the McDonald's nearby who insisted on wearing his open carry gun in, even though they have it posted there, and it raised the temperature in that room so much. Like it was like truly, I wanted to leave. I'm like, this feels like a dangerous situation. He's having an argument with the person. Oh, this is my right. Like it was just like, oh shit, and it's a white guy, so it's double scary. With guns.
They are the public shooters, are they not?
Yeah. Oh, that's our stock and trade.
We just had another shooting at a high school
In Georgia, I saw that.
Yeah, that's
Two kids dead, 2 teachers.
14-year-old kid shooting up a school. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
It makes sense.
I like to, yeah.
You think it makes sense?
I think it makes sense.
That shit is terrible.
Why? Like why?
I think it is a way to end your life in a blaze of glory and feel infamous.
But he gave up right away when they caught up to him.
Oh, did he? He didn't die?
He gave up right away.
They
pulled up on him and
I don't know about this one then.
He gave up right away.
I guess he decided he didn't want to
Took
die.
him into custody.
He probably had a vision. It didn't match the vision. But now he's going to go to jail for life, which is, I think, worse than dying.
They don't go to jail for life sometimes.
Why? Oh God! But burst my bubble. Go ahead.
They don't. There's a TikToker right now.
Okay.
His whole shtick is that he used to be a school shooter.
No way.
Yeah. You guys can look him up.
Wow.
Don't say his name. Fuck him.
Don't say his name. But
I don't want to say his name now. He doesn't get any clout from this.
Yeah.
But yeah, his whole shtick is that he used to be a school shooter, and he has fans. People, oh, you turned your life around. Oh, you did so good. You're doing things for the better. No, you cause so much harm to people. Like, why are you out right now? And that stuff pisses me off because I'm just like, man.
You traumatized how many people, right? Just even pulling it out in there.
Exactly.
And also for the concealed carry, like a big thing in that I've on my show, I've had like Navy SEAL, like all these like military high end guys, and they're like, I've seen dudes in my unit lock up in combat.
Yeah.
So it's like, to not be prepared or whatever, to not practice and prepare yourself is absurd.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and then I imagine owning a gun has maintenance, which people don't think about that kind of stuff. But I'm sure like there's things you're supposed to do with your gun. I don't know what they are, but.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's maintenance of not just physically taking care of the firearm. It's also a mental maintenance. You have to know what you're carrying. Right? Imagine having a gun that you don't really know how to utilize, right? And a lot of people, they own it just to say that they have it, but they don't practice with it. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean like, oh, okay, be a gun nut and go to the range like, 6 times a day or whatever. No, just maybe once every other week. Go and brush up on your talents, know how to engage with that firearm so you're handling it safely. That's the most important thing, is just safety, because imagine you are, unfortunately shooting at somebody that's causing you that threat, and you don't know what's beyond it, and you're just shooting random people. Like, imagine that scenario play out. So it's just training yourself how to utilize the firearm the right way and be accurate. So
That makes sense.
yeah.
All right, let's get into this Reddit. I'm glad I have a married person here to help me with this one.
Oh man, it's a married one. Okay, this is gonna be fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
Shoot, just 1 second.
Yeah,
One
go
second.
ahead.
Unless, you know what, can we skip to the second one and then I'll get it
sure.
for the first? Okay, so it's the
Okay.
right here. Sexless marriage.
Oh, 2 marriage ones. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
But none of these apply to your marriage, so you're good. I was like scanning. I'm like, is this going to look shady? Absolutely not. This has nothing to do with their marriage. Okay.
Oh man.
Is it a mistake to divorce over having a sexless marriage? Seeking advice. I've been contemplating this recently. My wife just doesn't provide me the intimacy I need. At one time, I thought we had a solution, a one-sided open marriage, but that dissolved after my wife said she doesn't actually want that anymore. Instead, she said she would initiate sex more for, quote, for real this time. Not surprising she hasn't. We've had sex twice since. We have kids, and I would hate for them to be in a, quote, broken home without a 2-parent household. On the other hand, I can't imagine continuing to live this way. I also still have love for her, but without sex is fading. I want to know how long the one-sided open marriage lasts. You think he went on one date and she was like, no?
Oh, this reeks of like just a corrosive dude. Like just his, even though like surprise, surprise, it didn't work kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like this feels like you just wanted to fuck this whole time.
He
You're
does want to
done with
fuck.
her.
He's saying that. He's saying he has a sexless
But I'm saying
marriage.
like he doesn't love her is how it feels to me. Like he's been done with her. It's hard for me to believe that for some reason.
So I think that I don't know how I would answer this. I think I would answer it differently based on like what your values are. What do you think, Joe?
So this is kind of how I look at it. He needs to open up to her, and they need to address certain things that's going on. Obviously, there's something underlying going on there that they're not approaching in the right way. So
Like the reason she doesn't want to have sex with him?
exactly.
Yeah.
There's got to be something going on there because when there's intimate moments that are beyond sex, you can do certain things that, make your partner more comfortable with certain situations.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to just say, oh, hey, I took a shower and now I'm naked and, let's get it on. That's not, nobody is going to find that appealing like, when you've been with somebody for so long, prancing around naked doesn't really, get
Do
the
it.
mind going. So you have to do certain things to like lead to the intimacy. So I feel like there's a couple of things that they're not addressing with each other, and I feel like they might be on the verge of therapy more so than divorce. So
Do you think it's okay to divorce like if there's no sex? Both of you.
man, that's a tough one. That's a very tough one.
I feel like it's so funny because so here's how I feel about the situation. I actually agree with you, Joe. I think that he's looking at the surface of this and that there's a deeper thing. Because even the wording, my wife doesn't provide me the intimacy I need, like it's like not a reciprocal transaction. Like
Yes.
at some point in their marriage, she was probably just having sex with him like a quota in her mind to be like, well, I got to have sex with my man kind of thing or he won't leave. And now she's not trying.
Yeah.
I do you think he sat her down and been like, why don't you want to have sex?
Exactly. Yeah, there's got to be some open communication, open dialogue about it.
And then I guess when you get down to the root of why you're not having sex, then you make the decision if you want to end the marriage, I think. Like if you get down to the root and it's like her being like, well, I actually just am not a sexual person and like I don't really care. Like I don't care if I ever have sex again. Then that's a very different conversation from like I actually haven't felt attracted to you for the last 6 months, or I haven't had a sex drive that I want to, or I don't know why I don't want to have sex. I guess what I'm getting from what Joe said, and I agree, is like if there's some movement, maybe you can work it out.
Yeah.
It is so because I know people who have significant others who have said the whole like, I'm just not like a sexual person anymore. Like I'm just not in like as if it's something you grow out of. How real do you think that is?
I think it's very real.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but I think it's based in like I don't get maybe any needs, not me specifically, but as the person. I don't get any needs met from sex anymore except maybe coming, and I can do that by myself or I don't care. Like I think like the root of it is that like the sex itself. Like, they've given up on being sexual because of the marriage they're in, whether they'll admit that to themselves or not. Because I guarantee that most of those women, if they were single, they would be dating.
That's what I was asking, because to me that means it's not real.
Yeah, so
Or
there's
in a sense.
But it's real. It's real to the marriage. I gave up on our
Gotcha.
marriage being sexual, but they don't say that.
There's got to be different layers in this, because you got to think about it too. They have kids together. Sometimes when people have kids, they focus all their attention on raising those kids and they ignore their marriage. You know, that's what people have to understand too. Like, you can't just like stop working on each other. You know what I mean? Like, for lack of a better term, but being with each other. That's
Working
still,
on each
yeah,
other.
like that's still, you know, like that's just
He's acting like sex is something that's owed to him,
There's
and
a
that
lot-
would turn me off.
That's what I was gonna.
Yeah.
I think you nailed it. Is that whole thing provided me? To me, that's what it tells me. Is
Yeah.
he demands sex? He sees it as her role.
It's her problem that they're not having sex
Yes.
too. It's not a them. It's not an us. It's not something for them to figure out together. It's her issue, and clearly she doesn't want to fuck him, because if you're really like attracted to your man, like you're in love with your man, and you're not like a polyamorous person, like the thought of him going off and having sex with someone else makes you sick.
yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
If you're not that kind of person, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean you want it from somewhere else? And instead she's like, oh, we could try it. And then she was probably like, this asshole doesn't deserve that.
That's crazy.
Check out the first comment at the bottom.
The best analogy I've ever heard. The best analogy I've ever heard is you don't live in a house because of the bathroom, but you wouldn't want to live in a house without one.
Yeah.
I think that's well said about sex in a sense. Like,
Yeah, I can see that.
They have a bathroom in their house. They just don't use it all the time.
so she has genitals and they don't use it all the time.
No, I'm saying no. I'm saying sex. Like, they've had sex twice. Like, it's like this. It's not sexless completely. And he also didn't name how often the 2 times have been since then. And is he initiating and trying,
Yeah.
or is he pushed it all onto her because she's frigid?
I see it as him putting all pressure on her. Like, even the
100%.
whole broken home thing. Like, you know,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, I mean, our kids are going to live in a broken home because you won't have sex with me in my exact way.
Ew.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fucked up.
She should leave you.
Yeah. All right.
She probably doesn't like you enough to have sex with you. That's probably the real issue. Okay. I'm
Oh,
gonna
jeez.
pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, I'm already reading this one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a,
I'll just read it here. Am I the asshole for being very upset that my wife is helping her friend cheat on her husband?
yes.
You are the asshole?
Yes.
Okay. A while ago, my wife and her friend went on a weekend trip, which seemed fine. Turns out the friend didn't really want to go on the trip. She was meeting a guy, her best friend, her soulmate. Apparently, these two have been messaging each other for years. My wife didn't know this, but obviously found out about it and told me, but she just ignored it because it wasn't our business. We didn't tell the husband. It was a weird what the fuck kind of thing. I don't know the husband at all. I barely know this friend. I was thinking, not my circus, not my monkeys. Cracking up, she knew about this from day one, and your wife lied to you because she knew you couldn't handle it. She knew her friend was cheating. Fuck out of here. So here's the thing: the friend asked my wife to go on another trip, and that will pay probably about $3,000 for the sole purpose of cheating on her husband again. My wife was gleefully ecstatic about going on a free trip. She will be the alibi for her friend cheating. Am I the asshole for being outraged,
you're
feeling
not.
betrayed?
No, you're not. I misspoke. You're not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
You're not the asshole. That is insane.
Wait, let me finish it. Am I the asshole for being outraged, feeling betrayed, feeling that our marriage is a fucking joke, and frankly wanting to end it? If her and the girls make such a farce of marriage and help each other out and cover for each other's cheating, what the fuck is our marriage? I'm seriously considering telling my wife that she can make her own decisions, but they have consequences, and when she returns for the fuck fest cheating weekend, the locks will be changed and the divorce papers will be
Oh my
pinned to the front
goodness.
door. Okay, that took a left.
Yeah.
All right, so he's the ass or she's the asshole. Why? First of all, if your wife came up to you and told you this, what you doing?
So she told me that she was covering for a friend.
Yeah, first trip she didn't know, but now she's gonna go back again and do it because she's gonna pay for her to go on a trip for free
That's gonna raise a lot of questions about what she's doing,
on the trip.
about what my wife's doing. Like,
Oh, I'm not doing anything.
100%.
We have our own. I have my own room. She has her own room so that they can stay together.
yeah, that takes, like, I mean, the trust would go so downhill, and I will feel so ashamed.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, think about it. Like you're.
You don't have friends who cheat?
Yes.
We all have friends who cheat.
Yes,
We all
absolutely.
do. That's not like a
Yeah,
specific
but
thing.
like covering for them is such a different level, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's so. Like now you're invested. So,
But what if she's not invested? It's just about the free trip.
I don't think that's what that is right there.
What do you think that
I
is?
think that's
That he brought a friend.
Yeah.
That they're going on another couple's vacation.
I think there's more. There's more to the story. I think that she's, living a happy. She's having her cake and eating it too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what that is right there.
Where's the line as far as like, okay, what if they're divorcing? What if the guy's abusive? You know what I mean? Like that's the trouble with reality, is that there's usually these contingencies that make you go like, yeah, whatever, he's a piece of shit. Like, I'm not saying I like this. I'm just saying like what? I don't know. Okay, let me back up. I know for a fact that there are plenty of men who go on weekends and there are friends there cheating.
Yes, absolutely.
True.
And that the boys' weekend is the cover for it. So I feel like the issue from the husband's heart is that it's the sole purpose of the trip and the entire plan.
It's
a little bit different than like, oh, when we went out to the booth, she went home with someone scandalous. That's a little bit different,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
It's like the level and the intent. But I also think to not tell your wife ahead of time this is a deal breaker in the marriage and to just let her leave and then have her come back and divorce her is stupid. I think you should give your wife the heads up how fucking serious this is to you so she can make a choice. But because she might be thinking like, oh, he'll get over it. He trusts me.
Yeah.
Right, which is like, what guy would trust that shit, man?
Yeah.
But men do this. This is the part that's throwing me.
I don't think we go as
duets, but you would lie and say that your friend was on the trip and they weren't.
No, you know what I think most guys do? You distance yourself.
Yeah.
You just fucking take distance if you don't want to like snitch it out. You just go like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, man? And then you just kind of like walk, like it's not like we like it necessarily. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, fuck. Like, you're kind of bummed out as well. And I've been on both sides of this,
Oh, me too.
Yeah, so.
There's been plenty of, I can think of one friend specifically that I'm not friends with anymore. And he wasn't in this friend group. He was in the group from college people.
Oh, okay.
The light skinned one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it used to piss me off to infinity when he would just bring a random girl and be like, we all had to pretend like we weren't hanging out with his girlfriend 2 days ago.
Ugh.
Because it's also like, I want to hang out with my friends. I don't even want to be with, I don't want to hang out with this fake version of you. This is fake.
Yeah.
This is all fake. You could have did this by yourself.
Exactly.
You didn't need to come do foreplay with her and your friends to make her feel special.
Yeah.
I hate when they use us like that.
Yeah.
But
That's what I'd say it is. It's mostly like that. It's like this kind of biting your lip, like just kind of, oh, fuck. Like, have I covered? Yes, I have in that way. Mm-hmm. Never gone along on a fucking trip as the camouflage.
Yeah.
That would feel shitty to me.
yeah. Does it change that they don't know her husband?
Unfortunately, yes, but it shouldn't.
You know what's funny though is like if you guys are close enough friends to be going on trips like that and you're both married, why aren't you like, hanging out as couples? That's kind of weird, right?
Yes.
That's the part that blows me.
Like, you guys should be going on a couples trip.
Exactly. Why are you not coming on the trip, husband? Why are you not spending that time in the hotel room with the...
That's actually true, because if she's going there to cheat, and you could be like, well, she's paying for our hotel, I can pay for my own flights, I'll come.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Join the trip. That's your wife.
Yeah.
So...
She's like, I don't want him there. Buzzkill.
Yeah, exactly.
Buzzkill. My husband's a buzzkill.
It just makes, like, for real, it reeks of her cheating, too,
Fine, you guys win.
We're just getting to the root of it, right? There's no winners.
You guys are right.
We are.
I just wanted, God, I hate to admit that I probably would never snitch on a friend for cheating. I actually know it in my heart I wouldn't.
That's tough. That's a tough place to be.
I wouldn't snitch. Like, I would never snitch on a friend either. I would maybe, like, go, hey, that's fucked up, you better, like, snitch yourself out because this is fucked up, or I'm not doing it.
But if they say that they won't snitch themselves out, then you're not going to...
No, you're right. I wouldn't.
I feel like your job is to give them that advice, like, hey, you probably shouldn't be doing this. That's what a good friend would do. Hey, you probably shouldn't be doing this. If you don't want to be with her, don't be with her. Like, that's it. It's better for you to cut it off than for you to just keep doing what you're doing.
So the last podcast that I went on as a guest, the host said to me, I don't think there's anything wrong with cheating in a marriage if you guys are not in love, you're being mistreated, and you're only together for finances. And I thought that was crazy. What do you think?
I think that's insane.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's insane. Like, there's, I mean, what, like,
Well, because the theory and thought process would be like you're unhappy in the marriage anyways. You guys are both there for financial reasons.
just-
Is it really a betrayal if you're cheating?
then just divide things equally and move on. Why are
But
you
people
still,
don't want to give up their lifestyle.
There's
Two income household.
you can still have a 2-income household with somebody else. Like, you don't have to maintain this lie with each other. I mean, somebody's getting hurt. Like, regardless of how you can make believe your mind or whatever, somebody's getting hurt in that relationship, and the dynamics has shifted. Like, you guys aren't being honest with each other. So just break it off. Let that person know. Split it off equally. And move on with your lives. There's no reason to put up that charade. Like, doesn't make any sense.
You don't get it?
Can I ask Joe something real quick?
Yeah.
Something very interesting came up. I have another friend who's from Africa now, and we were talking about
Now you just
dating.
met them yesterday.
A recent one, Nancy. Her name's Nancy.
Okay.
But yeah. So we were
What's her
talking
real
about
name?
dating.
What is
Nancy Corsa?
What's
is her name?
Corsa? Corsa, is that from West Africa or from East or from North?
I believe West, but I don't know. I don't want to fucking guess that. But I know this. I was talking
Profile her game.
I am, yeah. I mean, she'll fucking chew my ass either way, just for this. But we're talking about, because she knows I'm a fan of black women, and we're talking about Tinder and all that. And she asked me about dating African women. I said, I've matched with some, and I really want to because I think they look incredible. But there's a thing that I notice where they'll like ask for gifts, like, and I like nice dinners and gifts and like whatever, and I'm like, yeah, that just feels weird to me.
Oh my goodness.
And she went into this thing. She's like, in African culture, it's like that's a thing. Like the men offer, like, I'm gonna take care of you, like it's a known thing, kind of. She's like, it's not quite as ugly as you're making it. But then she said, but then those guys just cheat on them because they don't value them in that way.
Yeah.
Do you see that as true?
Well, culturally, I would say this. This is what I know, right? Culturally, it's expected for you to be the provider. In an African dynamic setting with the
Everything?
relationship. You are the provider. You are the man.
You're the man? Though you just said that.
you.
The man?
You are the man. You are the provider. You provide everything for your lady, and you shower them with gifts. You pay for everything for them, and that's kind of how the dynamic is. And basically, in return,
You get to do what you
your
want.
wife. No. Let's wait for that part.
Okay.
The woman in the house gets to take care of the kids, take care of the house, and basically the homemaker, and you guys have your roles your way. I mean, it's like traditionally what the U.S. used to be like.
Still is in the Midwest.
Certain parts, I think there's like an uprising of like.
Well, the cities
That's
are
how I
different.
think. I mean, honestly, I know it's old fashioned or whatever, but it is how I think. Like if I'm out with a woman, she doesn't pay for anything.
Yeah, and I mean, and I feel like in the younger generation, that's starting to change too. With like,
For sure.
Yeah, but yeah, for
But when they
wanna be in the
ask
house.
ahead of time, it is when it feels weird to me.
Yeah, for Africans, it's like taboo to have your lady pay for anything. Like, even having them split stuff 50-50 it's almost taboo.
Yeah.
And again, like the males wear it as a badge of honor that they can provide for their ladies. And that's kind of how it's seen. It's not seen as anything deplorable or like misogynistic or anything like that. It's more of like, this is how things have always been. This is how we grew up, and that's our nature. We take care of our families, and our wives, they make the home and they cook for us. They take care of the kids, and and that's life.
Your wife should quit her job.
Yeah, I know. Right?
She works less than you, though. Or you guys work even now?
I think.
Well, not even in a not hard-working way, but I just meant like when you guys' kid was a
man.
little bit younger. I feel like she had to be around with the baby.
Oh man, like you. I mean, you wanna count hours? Or you wanna count?
I don't.
No, I mean, so our relationship is a little different. Like I work way too much.
Yeah, you do.
Because I have certain goals. So I'm
Ambitious.
never not working.
Yeah.
Never not working. So yeah.
Yeah.
Jave, would you? So I know you're not dating. Obviously, you're in a relationship. But if I'm just curious, if you're the type, would you allow a man to pay for you on like an early date these days? Like,
Yeah.
you would.
It's the
Okay.
expectation.
It is the expectation for you. Okay, good.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that.
It
in a
is
way.
the expectation, and and when
It's
we're
the expectation.
no, it is, and when we're in a relationship, I will offer to pay for things. Like I will pull my weight. Like we're together. If you're together with someone every day, having them pay for everything is wild.
It's tough.
It's not
Yeah,
the same as
it
when
does
you're.
get to be a burden.
It's not the same as when you're going out twice a week. And like
Yeah.
they're paying for a meal and drinks. That's not the same as like everything, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. But like,
If a guy wants you to pay, does that like
oh, that's it. I
It-
will.
okay.
I will pay,
right?
but I
Does
will
he
pay,
diminish?
and I won't put a stink on. I won't make a stink about it. But I will think you don't like women. All right.
How does
love
that?
it.
How,
I fucking love it.
how
She's a
does that
feminist,
go
ladies
to,
and gentlemen.
How does that go to that extreme, though? Wait a minute.
Because
Wait
it
a
makes me
minute.
feel like you're skeptical and testing me, and why on date one are you
Okay, but,
testing
like,
me?
I mean,
why
it's-
am I being tested on date one?
But this is
Why?
But this is 2024. I mean, like,
Why am I being tested on
new
date one?
there's new dynamics to relationships now. I mean, if he just wants to see you take care of him for a
Testing.
change.
You're testing me, and I have a fucking master's degree. What are you testing?
I
What are
mean,
you testing? I have a
what if he's-
career.
what if
Like
he's-
on paper, it's very clear that like I don't want to be a homemaker, right?
Okay.
So what are you testing?
What if he's lower income at the time?
What?
Lower.
Then what?
Like he makes less than six
Next
figures?
question, she says.
Like he makes less than me?
Yeah, he makes a little less than you. Like,
What does he do? It better be
Artist.
well.
He's an artist.
He's
He's
an
really,
artist.
really. He's like
What
an
kind of
up and coming
artist?
rapper.
No, absolutely. Not.
Okay, bad,
He
bad,
could be.
bad guess.
He could
bad
make
guess.
$500,000 a year being an up and coming rapper. I'm not doing.
What
it.
if he's
Okay, yeah,
an
bad one, I
What
get
if he's like the actual paintbrush artist?
Yeah, he's like an
he have a
actual
day
like
job with health
sophisticated
insurance?
painter.
Does he have health insurance?
No, you have health
His
insurance.
paintings are his insurance.
Adam.
His paintings are his insurance.
Absolutely not.
You know you can.
Absolutely not.
You know
Get
you
your
can
ass
take
up and
out.
go to work.
You know you can take out insurance on your paintings, right?
You know that I am literally paying to do my second job. That's how hard I fucking work. And your ass can't get up and go to. It doesn't have to be a full-time job. Can you go to get a part-time job somewhere to get health insurance? Like you have to prove that you're self-sufficient for us to be together.
But passion is passion, and people do what they want. You know, like
Find another artist.
damn,
Y'all
tough.
can be
That's
broke
tough cookies.
together.
That's tough.
No, I just think it's weird, especially because I feel like if you're asking, you should be paying.
Yeah.
I'd say most women that I've been out, like truly, there hasn't been objections. Like
Don't-
I've been happy to see that. But
Don't you lose respect for a woman if she wants to pay for herself date one?
no,
Doesn't it give you
No, don't
No,
respect.
absolutely not. No,
it doesn't give low self-esteem?
So the thing is,
No.
the thing is how I view it. Like, yeah, it's crazy to actually think about myself outside of a relationship because I've been in a relationship forever. But
Would you want your daughter to go on a date and him be like, split the bill?
that's different, though.
No, it's not.
It is. That's my little baby. I can never even think about her dating. What are you talking about dating? That's beyond the scope of like reality right now.
I'm just saying.
No, but no, I'm thinking about like again myself outside of like my relationship now. If a lady were to pay for me in a situation, I would be so honored in that perspective. Like, why is she? Like, I'll ask questions like, why is she doing this? Like
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense to me because like how I was raised. Like I was raised to pay for everything, but. Like it would kind of. I think it actually will make me more interested in her.
I feel emasculated.
It's not like I'm at home getting taken care of. Like I pay rent, I buy groceries, I pay for meals, I pay for dates. I just think that there's something off about insinuating, on demanding on date one I throw money. If you don't want to spend money on date one, then plan something that's not expensive.
Yeah.
Like I'm so serious. Like
I just love you for this. I
Like-
think this is so great.
like let's go get ice cream and go to Minnehaha Falls. Let's go.
Who's paying for the ice cream?
What year were you born?
94.
Huh.
I am from the 1900s and I
It
fucking act
sounds
like it.
mid-century, and I love it.
Well,
I love it.
it's about social norms. Like you can't follow basic social norms.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like it's a test. Pass the test.
But when is social?
If I show up and I look like shit and I'm not dressed for the restaurant I'm at, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, there's just some social norms. Doesn't
Yeah.
say anything about my character as a person.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just weird.
So do
I
you-
stick by it.
All right. Next Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Joe's like, I can't believe it.
I like it though. That was great.
Okay. Brother-in-law pushed my daughter. Joe's face.
That's crazy.
Shit.
My daughter, 20, and niece, 19. At least she's an adult. Doesn't make it great, but at least she's. When I first saw this, I thought she was gonna be like 7.
I was gonna say, is that better or worse? Right.
My baby. Like
19, husband side. Okay, my daughter, 20, and niece, 19, husband side are best friends. Niece lives with her grandmother and brother-in-law. 44. Daughter was invited to dinner at brother-in-law's house. When she arrived, brother-in-law was yelling at my niece. My daughter was just standing there. At one point, brother-in-law pushed my niece to the floor, then pushed daughter from the kitchen, then pushed her out the front door while yelling to them both, "Get the fuck out of my house." My daughter has it all recorded. Daughter was extremely upset, mostly because he put his hands on her forcefully. We have video of the whole thing. She wants to call the cops on him. My husband says not to, that he will have a talk with him should she report him to the cops. Police officer, what do you think?
So I think that in these situations, he already did the crime. He already assaulted her. Like, you're not supposed to put your hands on anybody. But I feel like if he were to go and have that discussion with him, he might end up in trouble because he might not like the response that he gets from her, from him.
You imagine, like, if you tried to show up and then he didn't say the right thing and now you beat this guy's ass?
Exactly. Now you're taking away from your daughter. So I just feel like he should put it in the hands of the law enforcement because you don't want to go over there because you're still heated. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know what you're going to do for your family member. You've never, I mean, like, a lot of people aren't put into that situation. So I wouldn't even trust myself to go over there and have that cordial discussion, even though, like, I'm a trained professional and I can, de-escalate a lot of things. I'm not trusting myself to go have that discussion.
No one's gonna take that as a cordial discussion.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist.
Also, if your niece is like a decent human, you should invite her to live at your house.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't need to live with her grandma and brother-in-law.
Is there a scenario where
So-
that's understandable?
There's not a scenario where the daughter part is understandable because it seems like she wasn't a part of it.
Well, pushing her out of the house. What does that mean? Like, because she probably jumped at, like, let's just say she jumped at him and started, like,
Yeah.
popping off. He's just trying to put his hands on her. And, yeah, move her out. He's bigger, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're walking her out the door.
Yeah.
Like, how she communicates that can be really tricky.
I'm gonna guess what she reported was accurate because it's on video.
Yeah, a lot of people don't lie when.
I didn't grow up. So I grew up in a house where I was the only kid not getting hands put on them. Everybody else was getting hands put on them but me. Isn't that crazy? We all do the same thing. I'm sitting there watching everyone else get whooped.
They must have liked you.
Does that make you less, like, in a sense, does that make you have a proclivity to not, I don't want to say victim blame because that's such an explosive thing, but just, you obviously knew how to move to not have that stuff
it's
happen.
because my mom.
Okay.
Because we had different moms. My
your
mom
mom
was
showed
like,
you?
if you put hands on my kid, she's not
Oh,
coming back
wow.
over. That's like not happening. My mom was like, I don't know, because my grandma, I mean, they're from the South, like
Yeah. Whooping.
whooping that ass, grabbing the nearest shoe.
Oh, a shoe. Okay.
Light work, sorry. Light work, sorry.
I wish I had a shoe.
So I have a different perspective on this because, like, I was taught, like, nobody puts their hands on you. Like, and my mom's whole thing wasn't even, like, I was like, oh, whooping is so terrible overall, as much as it was, like, I don't want my daughter getting used to a man putting her hands on her. Like,
Yeah.
ever. Like, I don't want that to be normal in any way. I don't want it to be normal in any way that men put their hands on women.
Yeah.
Like, it's not happening. And so I said all of this to say that I would probably have a really big reaction to it, but maybe somebody who grew up in a house that was more physical would be like, this is just a normal fight.
No.
But it's not your kid, and you're a family member, but what does brother-in-law really mean? Like, I know what it means, but how connected are you to the family? Like, how much trust is there? Like, do the parents really know you and trust you? Like, I just can't see a scenario where she didn't say anything about her and brother-in-law being close.
I want to know where sister figures in.
It seems like an issue, right?
You're right. Like, where
It's
you think
some
she'd be the
toxicity.
one who would be regulating this?
Maybe she's MIA. I don't know. But I also think it's a bad precedent for your daughter to be like, yo, I want to defend myself and go to the police, and you tell her not to. I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, you're not supposed to manipulate her like that. You're supposed to let her make that decision. Like, if she wants to go to the police, let her. Like, you're putting her in more risk by telling her not to report things that men do to her. Like, it creates a different dynamic. Imagine now she has a boyfriend that did the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
The men in my life are telling me not to go to the police. Imagine that cycle.
You know what's plot twist? I would
that's
never
pretty
go to the police over this.
That's what I was gonna...
I grew up in a family would never go to the police over this, but it's clearly in the family that's an idea, so she should do it. But like my family, we would shame the shit out of some. Like, you got the police. Like, in my family, it would be better for you to go and whoop his ass and leave than it would be for you to call the police. Like, it'd be more of a betrayal to call the police than go whoop his ass.
But people snitch, and that's the point. Like, I am not trusting brother-in-law to not tell. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, if it was like, I can't nowadays. You're not trusting anybody to not tell. If you get into a physical altercation, they'll lie and say you did more than what you did. So that's why just give
Valid.
up.
Valid.
This is where I'm at with this, and I feel so weird that I have this strong, like, intellectually I know, call the police, like, particularly with what he just said, that it's like about conditioning your daughter to, I don't want my daughter managing that situation like I want to, because my instinct here is to go, if you call the police, you are probably fracturing your relationship with your in-laws forever because of the shame attached to that now. Like, I got you labeled a child abuser, and I don't know what, maybe they're, of course, more context would be nice to know here.
It would be a lot. It would be really nice to know.
Yeah, but it's like maybe her daughter has been that daughter has been, not his daughter, but the niece has been a perpetual problem, like just a kid who just is a fucking huge problem. And yeah, it boiled over and, I just like pushing to the ground. That can be so much. You know what I mean? I hate that this is my mentality, but it's like, is it worth bringing the police? Gonna get labeled a child abuser for that? That's not really, it's fucked up that I have that.
Well, they're all adults, so
yeah,
you'll just catch an assault charge. But
okay.
I like I said, I grew up in a house that we wouldn't have called the police, and like I feel like telling your daughter not to call the police is not the way.
Yeah,
not the way. Speaking of police, we should probably hop off the live so we can get to the interview.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So see you later, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. Check out the rest of the episode on Patreon.
Oh yeah. Why don't you plug the Patreon real quick as we go out?
Patreon on therapy. Our Patreon is called Therapy Rebranded. We have bonus content every week, and random extras. So subscribe. It's only $5 a month for 4 extra bonus, basically episodes.
And check out Jave on the most recent episode of Other Words for Horror. By the way, she was really great, and it was a very fun episode. So
I did have fun.
Yeah, it was great. All right, stream is coming down.
Cool.
I'll let you know.